Hey everyone, so today we're diving into a really cool analysis from Salon. It's all based on a 2024 marketing strategy guide that came straight from the Xiaohongshu e-commerce learning center. And what it does is lay out this incredible playbook for how fashion brands can absolutely crush it during one of the biggest, most competitive shopping seasons on the planet. So that brings us to the big question, right? How do you actually win China's biggest fashion showdown of the year? And I'm not kidding when I say showdown. For fashion brands, the Chinese New Year, it's basically their Super Bowl. The stakes are incredibly high and the pressure is on.
And yeah, calling it a battlefield isn't an exaggeration at all. The opportunity to make money is just massive, but guess what? So is the competition. It is the peak season, and every single brand is out there, fighting for a piece of the pie. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, it's staggering. We're not talking about small, incremental gains here. The data shows that the women's apparel category on Xiaohongshu saw triple-digit growth overall. But get this, the top merchants, the ones who really nailed their strategy, they grew by over 200%. That potential is just insane.
But here's the thing. To get that kind of explosive growth, you have to understand something really important. This isn't just about moving inventory or selling a new dress. No, it's about tapping into a really deep and powerful cultural moment. That, right there, is the real secret. So what is this powerful cultural current? Well, it all boils down to the real reason people are making these purchases. It's this very specific, very potent psychology around homecoming.
I mean, really think about it. When someone's scrolling through their phone, adding that perfect outfit to their cart before the new year, what are they truly buying? I can tell you, it's a whole lot more than just some fabric stitched together.
And boom, here it is. This is the absolute core insight from the report. This is the big aha moment. It's not about being the loudest or flashiest person in the room. It's about showing your family, without saying a word, that you're doing well, you're healthy, you're successful. It's a way to say, hey, don't worry about me, I've got this.
And you can totally see how that emotional driver translates directly into the fashion choices. It's all about projecting this sense of well-being through styles like the new Chinese style, which is both modern and traditional, or that subtle, quiet luxury vibe. Even the fabrics they choose, things like song brocade, cashmere, velvet, they all scream quality, elegance, and that you're taking good care of yourself. Okay, so you've got this killer insights. You know why people are buying. But how do you, as a brand, actually turn that knowledge into sales? Well, that's where Xiaohongshu's winning playbook comes in. It's a three-step strategy to completely own the New Year season.
Now, it looks pretty simple on the surface, right? But the way it's executed is actually super sophisticated. First, you listen. Then, you select the right stuff. And finally, you amplify your message. Let's break down each one of these steps.
Step one is all about data. Before you try to sell a single thing, you have to listen. You need to understand the little shifts in what people want. And the absolute best way to do that, you analyze what millions of users are actively searching for on the platform. And check this out. This visualization is the perfect example. On the left, you've got the practical searches from earlier in the winter. You know, stuff like down jacket. But look at how the terms on the right change as the new year gets closer. The searches become aspirational. You see spring outfit, and my personal favorite, New Year battle outfit. The whole mindset shifts from a need to a want. All right, so once you see that change happening in the data, you move to step two. And this part is crucial. This is not about just listing every single thing you sell. It's about being a curator. It's about carefully choosing and highlighting the products that fit that homecoming story perfectly. So this is where you connect the dots for the customer. For that new Chinese style trend, you feature things like the super popular Meimian skirts. For quiet luxury, you're going to highlight those premium cashmere coats and elegant velvet pieces. The goal for every product you push is to help that customer tell their story of effortless success. And finally, you've got the deep insight, you've curated the perfect products. Step three is all about execution. It's go time. This is where you launch a coordinated campaign across the platform's three major engagement arenas. And this multi-channel approach is absolutely key. You use KOLs or influencers to build massive hype and trust. Then, your own brand's live streams can do a deep dive into product quality, the feel of the fabric, the little details. And at the same time, you're running targeted posts or notes with paid ads to push traffic to all these events in your product pages. Everything has to work together. So, after going through that whole strategy,
what are the biggest lessons we can walk away with? For me, it really boils down to 3 huge takeaways. First up, the brands that won big didn't just sell clothes, they sold the feeling of making your family proud. They truly understood the deep emotional need, the why, behind the purchase, and they built their entire strategy around that feeling. Okay, number 2. The second big lesson is that data is basically a crystal ball. That shift in searches from winter coat to New Year battle outfit, that wasn't a lucky guess. It was a clear signal blinking in the user data. By paying attention, brands could literally see the future of demand and get ready for it. And finally, the third one, and the third takeaway is that you can't just do one thing and hope it works. The winning playbook proves that success comes from integrating everything. The influencer posts create buzz for the brand's live stream, which is then boosted by paid ads. It's all one connected ecosystem, designed to seamlessly guide a customer from just browsing to actually buying. And all of this leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. This powerful mix of deep cultural insight, predictive data, and integrated social commerce, it worked like a charm for the new year. But is this just a one-off for a specific holiday? Or are we actually looking at the blueprint for the future of all retail? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.